So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the 5 reasons I think that you need to install a carburetor on your LS. But before we get started on that, I just want to shout out real quick, I do have an Instagram page open. There's not a lot on it, but whenever I'm not posting here, I'm posting on the Instagram a lot of little updates. And if you guys want to ask me any questions, you guys can go ahead and jump over to my Instagram directly. So if you want to be a part of it there, go ahead and add me there. And then now for real, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about would probably have to be the simplicity of the setup of a carburetor versus fuel injection. Fuel injection is pretty much known for having excessive amounts of wires. You have your MAP sensor, your IAT, usually your TPS. You just have so many sensors and computers just attached to any kind of modern engine that it seems like a little bit of a breath of fresh air when you have a carburetor, and the only thing you need to worry about are if your MSD box is hooked up and if your fuel pump is working. That way you can just pump the throttle to see if fuel is going into your carburetor, and that's pretty much all there is to know. You don't really have all of that complication hooking up your scan tool, looking for codes, and then maybe getting maybe a sensor that's not reading right, or you put in a sensor that belongs on a different year engine that has a different resistance. And you know, it's all these little things that actually probably make having a carburetor more appealing versus having fuel injection when you're doing your LS swap. You just drive back to your driveway, step up your jets 2 sizes, 3 sizes, whatever you need, and then get back on the road and do it again. I did touch on this a little bit with my second point, but I'm reiterating that tuning, although you are required to have a wideband when tuning a carburetor, if you don't want to go to a dyno, you can honestly do it by yourself. You can get yourself a little tuning kit from Holley. I don't know what you do with Federbrock, but with Holley, you rip off the bowls, you change the secondary plate, or you install a secondary metering block and install some jets, or things like that, and you can just as easily tune it yourself. If you're driving and you see that you're going lean, you don't have to make an appointment with the person tuning your car. You just drive back to your driveway, step up your jets 2 sizes, 3 sizes, whatever you need, and then get back on the road and do it again. If you notice that you're in the secondaries and you're going too rich, you turn down the jets. Or if you notice that while you're just regularly driving, you're going into the power circuit too often, then you get a different power valve. And it took me a while to get all of this a little dialed in for my own setup, because since this is my first carbureted application, I didn't know where to start. Another thing that I want to touch on is having lower fuel pressure overall. So I believe I spoke in my last video that the Holley carburetor